Welcome to this video series on key capabilities of the Kaleido Information Engine. In this installment, we will introduce you to Kaleido's data integration and master data management capabilities. Integrating data from multiple sources into a reliable single source of truth is an important characteristic of a master data management solution. Kaleido provides a comprehensive environment for our customers, enabling them to easily manage the tasks of integrating their master data. Those tasks include matching source records to master records to avoid creating duplicates, merging details from one or many source records into a master version, and creating new master records, a process called promotion. All these tasks are managed within Kaleido MDM in a governed and workflow-driven manner. With Kaleido, data integration is defined by the business model, managed through validation rules, data matching, and workflow, and then governed in a single repository that is audit-ready at any time. Any type of information that can be represented in a business information model can be integrated using Kaleido MDM. For example, if we get information about the products we sell from both our suppliers as well as a rating agency that evaluates products, we must ensure that records from both sources of information are matched to the correct master product record and the relevant details are integrated. Simply loading new source product data or rating agency data directly into the warehouse will not produce valid reports because neither source has all the required attributes to complete the product record. In this example, an unmerged record from the supplier does not include the safety rating attribute that is required for reporting. Data that is used in warehouse reporting needs to be integrated and governed. With Kaleido, invalid reference data that is rejected by the data warehouse can be automatically routed from the warehouse suspense tables to the Kaleido MDM staging tables, along with data originally intended to be loaded directly into MDM. In the Kaleido MDM Consumer GUI, we see how a business user would view master products before source product supplier and rating agency data had been integrated. At the top, a rendering of the model explains the local to global mapping relationship between these sources and the product itself. Below, we see the attributes of the master product record. There are quite a few blanks, and many of these will get filled in during the data integration process. In order to avoid creating duplicate products, the MDM team will use the data matching capabilities of Kaleido to match source product and rating agency records to master product records where possible. With Kaleido, matching definitions are created without writing code, refined by business people who understand the data, and are ready for use within minutes. For example, products in our monthly load from the rating agency are mapped to master products using the mapping definition you see here. This data mapping definition was created by defining two matching rules. The first matches on the product name and the supplier attributes of the product, while the second matches on the product class of the product. Weighting can be assigned to each individual matching rule as well as to the attributes used within that rule. Rules can be edited at any time simply by clicking the pencil beside that rule. When the pencil is clicked, the items identified in the rule appear checked in the Source tab. When you've made changes, including changes to the weights, simply click the pencil again to close the rule and click the Save button to save your changes to the rule. On the Preview tab, data mapping definitions produce a score of each potential match of a master product record to records in the monthly rating agency load file. On the left-hand side of the screen, a preview of a match is displayed. The upper portion is a record from the rating agency monthly load, and the lower left contains the most likely matches in the master product list. You can change that human review cutoff threshold simply by moving the slider. If we were to move it up to 88%, the potential match for the PlayStation disappears. So let's go ahead and move that back down to 80% and see the match reappear. You can go through a set of potential products by going ahead and clicking the arrows to move from one product to the next. And finally, the Operations tab determines how a data mapping rule will be executed. Execution parameters are in the center, and matching rules defined on the previous tab are displayed at the right. At the bottom, results of the previous execution of the matching rule are displayed. Data mapping rules can be executed either on demand by the MDM team or automatically as part of the loading process. To execute the rule, simply click the Submit button right here. A data mapping rule defines the thresholds for actions Kaleido will take based on the scores produced when the matching rule is executed. Near the top, we see the system decision threshold is set at 95%. This sets the lower limit at which the machine will automatically assign a match. Just below it, the human review cutoff threshold is set at 80%. This sets the lowest score where the match should be reviewed by a member of the MDM team. Scores lower than the human review threshold are considered unmatched. Once executed, other data mapping definitions can be used to find matches based on other criteria. Matches that were scored between the thresholds mentioned before are routed automatically to the data matching basket, where the MDM team can review candidate matches and select the correct ones. The candidate matches are displayed by matching rule, and the number of matches for review are indicated. To see those matches, simply click on the number, and here we see the candidate matches that were previewed. The one that we saw specifically was the flat PlayStation Triple Play, and if we select that, we see the candidate match from the master product file that we believed was a match in the preview. To actually see those records side by side, all we need to do is click the link on the product, and here we can see the master product and the product from the rating agency. If after reviewing that match, the MDM team member decides it is a match, he can simply click the Assign button to make that association between the source record and the master product record. Using MDM matching and validation rules to prevent duplicate and invalid data is a vital part of the Agile Data Warehouse. As you will see in Part 2 of the data integration video, changes such as selecting matches, merging source records, and manual enrichment of data can be put through workflow processes to ensure the data is correct before it is authorized.